Hey everyone, it's me, Kirk Mastin, with your fourth episode of What Makes This Photo Great. And today we're going to be talking about light and how it can really radically transform your image to make it great. So these are images from our Facebook community. I've grabbed a few that I felt were just excellent and maybe kind of flew under the radar, and this is a way for me to really show some hidden gems out there. Let's get started. So this image by Daria Keenan is great for many, many reasons, not the least of which just the expressions. The expressions in this photo are incredible. There are scientifically two things that make people look at a photo in terms of advertising, and that is anyone who is smiling and making eye contact with you in an ad is going to get a really good reaction, and then anyone that is smiling and making eye contact with you that is a child or a baby gets you the most reaction. So seeing these two smiling faces here, that just really draws you in from a marketing perspective. But that's not why you're here. You're not here to learn about what makes a good marketing photo. You're here to learn what makes a photo great. And beyond marketing, just having a great expression and that eye connection really, really makes this photo pop. Okay, so a few other things that I really love about this photo is it has a very limited palette. We're dealing primarily with orange and blue, so we've got like the blue of this girl's little jumpsuit and this kid's blue shirt and blue shorts, and then the other primary color is orange, or kind of peachy orange. So we've got skin tone, this girl's red hair, even the mom's suntan back here, and the dad, his suntan. You've got kind of two primary colors working together to give you a very strong color palette. Even the kids' eyes are blue. I mean, it's really a two-color image. It's blue and orange, and it just really works. So combine that with these great expressions, and now we've also got something that I talked about in the last video. We've got a really nice composition trick going on here called the golden ratio, or the Fibonacci curve, and the way that it is coming in on this photo is starting up here. I mean, there's really nothing happening here, but I can tell that it lands about here, bounces off, it comes back, and we've got kind of that spiral leading all the way to her face, to the little kid's face. So if I was to divide this up, you've got kind of the most important part of the Fibonacci spiral, or the golden ratio. It's the same thing happening right here in the center of the photo. And we've got this nice flow going up the dad's arm. You see her face, and then kind of as a bonus, your eye travels back to the boy behind. That's really powerful. Okay, other things to note. This photo used Ektar 100 from the Adventure Everyday pack that Mastin Labs makes. It was a really good choice because it emphasizes reds, oranges, and gives you really nice kind of three-dimensional pop. So I think that makes this photo really strong as well. I don't think this would do so well as a faded kind of colorless photo. It's a happy, joyful photo, so that's a really good choice. And the last thing that I really love about this photo is the lighting. You may look at this and go, man, why is the lighting so perfect? Like, there's hardly any kind of deep shadows anywhere, maybe a little bit around the hands and like behind her head, but nothing major. I'll tell you why. It's because they're on a beach, the sun is low in the sky, way down over here. I'm assuming this is where the water is. And their bodies are acting like a shield, blocking the sun that's over here somewhere, coming down. And they're actually sitting in their own open shade. So they're sitting in this diffused light caused by their own bodies. I'm assuming that the photographer overexposed intentionally, otherwise they would be a silhouette. But this photographer, Daria Keenan, she overexposed a little bit, opened up for the shadows where they are, and it's just a beautifully lit photo, and that is why I like it. And I hope you like it too. It's super good. So thank you for sharing that, Daria. Daria or Daria. I love it. All right, so next we have a photo by Denny Xiao, I hope I'm saying your name right. Man, this is striking. There are so many things happening in this photo. I love it. The color palette is beautiful. We've got two really nice complementary colors here. We've got not only these warm kind of peachy and purple colors here, we've also got this kind of cool cyan green or blue in the background, and those really play off each other nicely. There's a repetition between the colors in this flower and the color in her lips. I love that. And we've also got this really nice leading line of this lens flare coming in from the side, kind of directing your eye into the center of the photo, into the flower. So that my eye goes in kind of a very strange path when I see this photo, and I don't know if you're looking at it, if it goes the same way, but I look at it this way. I see your eyes, I immediately go to this rainbow thing, this flare. It takes me down to the flower. I look at the flower, I come up to her lips, and now I'm back at her eyes again. We've got this kind of nice like circular flow. It's essentially a triangle. Let me let that fade for a second. But we've got a really nice triangle happening here, and it's very powerful. It keeps your eyes into the center of the frame. If her eyes were looking out, my eyes would follow her, and my eyes would also look out, and I would be more focused on this side of the photo, and I would really not get as much enjoyment out of these things happening here. So I know that lens flare, I don't know, maybe it was intentional. I don't know, maybe you held up like a prism or something and you got that flare where you wanted, but it's really fortunate. Okay, other things that make this photo great. Really nice background. It's not distracting. This is one of those kind of perfect portraits where you're melting into the background. Like there's really nice separation between her head and the background, really shallow depth of field. And this lighting is perfect. I can tell just by looking at her eyes that this is all natural lighting. She is very, very close to a window over here. And this window light is just this huge, huge light source that's very close to her. And the bigger the light source and the closer it is to your subject, the more soft and beautiful that light will be. It's a very classic thing that you can do, is get your subject right up to a window, get between them and the window. So you want to be more on the window side than on the opposite side. You don't want to be over here to them. You want to be over on this side of them, shooting at, more at them with the window light coming in. And then there's possibly someone with a V flat. It looks like this kind of like white, that's a terrible drawing. Imagine an open book. Pretend this is a book, but it's huge. It's like 8 feet tall. There might be someone over there holding a V flat or something reflective that's white to bounce a little bit of light into her hair, so we have some detail here and it's not like pure black. So beautiful lighting, really nice portrait because the background is not distracting, and we've got this fantastic triangle pattern here to guide your eye around the photo, and it's just super dynamic and just gorgeous, and it looks like film, and I love it. Fantastic. All right, let's move on. All right, so next we have, let me move myself here. We've got Johanna Oakes, and this is shot with Ektar 100. And I feel like today's theme is really about light. In every single case, in all the photos I'm going to show you today, light is playing a huge role. So in this case, we have what appears to be a high overcast day, which can be really, really nice sometimes if you want that, softbox look without actually having a softbox. This big diffused sky up here, there's no kind of specular light source like the sun making harsh light. It's all diffused in the sky, and you'll notice because he is tilting her back, we've got really nice light on her face because she is looking up at the sky. Having your subject look up at the sky when you've got the diffused lighting is going to give you nice open lighting on their face. They're not going to get kind of the deep sockets in their eyes, and that makes her look really good. I guess we don't care so much about the guy in photos for some reason. It's not a big deal, I guess, that he has this huge shadow under his chin and eyes. That just, it's fine in this photo. However, she's got this really beautiful flattering light coming from the sky. So really nice lighting, diffused, easy to work with, easy to edit in, no harsh shadows. Other things that I like about this photo, compositionally. there are a lot of things going on in this photo that draw you into them. In fact, there's probably like 9 or 10 things. It's pretty wild. First of all, we've got this plant right here, or both of these plants. They're kind of curving in. This is unusual, this plant kind of curving in, but it really kind of pulls you in a circular way towards the center of the photo. And this is also mirrored in the way that he's standing. Not so much in the way she's standing, but definitely in the way he's standing is almost the same as this plant. It's almost like the plant is bending over with him, and these kind of leading lines bring you towards them. They're almost like these plants are like pointing at their heads. Down in this reflection, we also have other lines pointing to them. We've got these stones that are pointing back to the couple, and then even the reflection of her dress. So we've got these going on down here, these going on here, and there's just a lot of movement in this photo bringing you into the couple. So I really like that. And then we've got two kind of intersecting lines here that happen to go along. I will learn how to draw straight someday, but you'll see. Let me try it one more time. Boom, 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 boom. I can do this. And now we've got our points of interest here. They're not hitting quite exactly, but I do find it interesting that this line and this upper line of the wall fit the rule of thirds compositional graph perfectly. And then you've got these trees kind of forming the outside of it. They're right dead center in the middle, but it works. There's a lot going on. So those are the reasons I like that photo a lot, and I want to share it with you. All right, so changing it up 100% here. We don't have window light. We don't have an open, softbox from the sky with the overcast. Instead, we've got this beautiful photo by Julie Jagt. It sounds like a German name almost. Jagt. Jagt. Julie's photo is just really stunning. When I saw this come through the feed in the community, I knew that I had to bring it on this show. This is edited with Fuji 400H from the Fuji original pack, which is usually used for like really light and airy photos, but it really has a nice effect on greens and blues and gives you kind of a pastel look, and it really works with this situation with her kind of green dress and that blue wall and her skin tone. It's really a nice choice. It also doesn't have a lot of contrast in that film or preset. That also works here really nicely. And what is interesting about this photo is, unlike the other ones where we had, either a big window on the side or a giant skybox, big, sky, we've got her down in this kind of, I don't know what you would call it. I almost think of like a Roman Colosseum. But there's two staircases coming down, and we've got diffused light coming in from both sides. Now, here's the interesting thing. On a photo like this, I am unsure where the light is coming that hits the front of this person. We've got really very clearly split lighting coming from these two archways, so I would imagine normally there would be kind of a dark strip almost in the middle where these two lights don't quite connect, but they seem to wrap around. The only thing I can think of that is making this happen, there's two possibilities. One is that the photographer is possibly using a flash. I see that the inside of the archway here is lit up a little bit, so maybe there's a little pop of flash in the middle, or it is possible that we're in some kind of really complicated like structure here, and there's light bouncing from the front off of other walls behind, if you're the photographer, like behind you coming forward. I don't know, it's kind of a mystery, but that's what I think. All right, so compositionally, we've got this beautiful kind of cross lighting going on here with some kind of fill light in the middle coming from, who knows, maybe flash, maybe something else. And now let's move on to the composition. Compositionally, we've got a natural frame here with the arch. That's really cool. And then we've got a very strong diagonal going through because of flipping up the dress. The one thing And this is why composition is important. The one thing that I think would possibly make this photo better is if this hand was kind of in line with this hand. So it made a real nice cross. Like if this hand was actually down here and not tilted up, it would just really pull you right through this photo. And then on top of it, not only pulling you through here, if she was looking that way, I think that would be just super badass. It's still a really, really great photo, but just compositionally, if there was another photo in this set where her arm is just straightened out, that would make it, in my opinion, even stronger. Then we would have these nice crosses kind of coming through compositionally. But I like this photo, it's great, and very happy to see it. Love the color palette. Great job. All right, this is by Lindsay Cochran. This is edited with Ektar 100 from the Adventure Everyday pack. Ektar is just super popular. It's got a lot of color, really makes things pop, but it still looks like film. And it really works on this photo. We've got this really nice repeating, actually it's a 3-color palette this time. We've got green, so we've got this van seat here. We have green, we've got her, I don't know what you call it, like half sweater on that's green, and then we've got the green of the grass. So we've got green as a primary color, we've got this orange, and then we've got this blue. And I'm kind of bundling in this girl's jumper into this. So we've got green, orange, blue, very cool. What I like about this photo is we've got really nice soft light from very low light in the sky. You can see kind of a trace of sunset in the leaves and the trees back here, and a little bit lit up window on the side here. So I'm thinking the sun is right up here on the other side of the van, just like right behind here. And it is making, because the sun is low in the sky and behind them, this entire scene is in open shade. And I cannot stress enough how important it is to, if you're going for this kind of soft film look, how important it is to have open shade, even lighting. You just can't do a good edit. You can't get here. You can't get here. You can't get to this look if you have harsh light. So by waiting for the sun to be lower in the sky, somewhere back here behind the van, this entire front is in open shade. There's no direct sun on it. One way I can absolutely know this for sure is that if you look at the highlights on their face, like here, gosh, this is too thick of a pen, but you can see these highlights, right? I'll wait for it to disappear. Those highlights are actually kind of bluish. They're very cool. And that's because it's coming from the sky without any sun in it, and they're in open shade. So it's great, really nice. Okay, so let's not talk about color, let's not talk about light, let's talk about something else. One reason that this photo is so great is the expression. This is just great. This is like teen angst, I guess. And it's in a time period that I can't quite put my finger on. I want to say immediately like the 70s or something because of the van and because of this girl's outfit, and maybe a little bit because of this girl's outfit. But then she makes me feel clearly like in the 90s, and it's kind of just like all over the place. There's actually a Bruce Springsteen record right here. There's kind of a mixture of genre or mixture of eras happening in this photo, and it's really, really interesting. Like the longer you look at it, the more interesting it gets. So that is something that makes this photo really great for me. Excellent styling, excellent expressions, excellent lighting. It's great. Compositionally, you know what? It looks like it was shot with a wide angle. It's a little bit wonky. These kind of lines, these perspective lines, you can see that they're not like straight across. They're not really like formal and strict, which is kind of what the way I tend to shoot is with a 50 and really just straight on. This photographer is comfortable with the wide angle, and I like it. It looks good. You feel like you're really sitting there with them. So, excellent photo. I love it. Lindsay, excellent job. All right, last photo for this episode is by Will Marie Krause. This was edited with Ektar 100, again from the Adventure Everyday pack. It is so popular, and I'm not at all surprised to see half of these photos in this bundle all using the same film look. But beyond that, what do I love about this photo? Oh man, it's simply two things. It's how graphic it is. So we've got this is the definition of a perfect silhouette. It's very graphic. It's just the, black silhouette, and you can just really see these people. You can see a lot of details about them. That is just amazing. It's really just two colors. It's this kind of light blue and then peach all the way through it. It's very simple. It's very graphic. As far as silhouettes go, silhouettes are hard. They're hard to do because often you can't tell what the hell's going on. Things just turn into a blob. But here, this is really good. I mean, look at this like little gap right here between her arms. You really get good separation there. And then look at this. This is fantastic. This little gap here between his hands and this kid. You can see like a little gap between the legs. You can see all of his fingers. You can see that he's like excited coming down out of the sky and his dad's like catching him. I love it. You can see this little baby's nose and toes and the hair. It's just an amazing silhouette. So great silhouette. They're hard to do. You nailed it. I like that you're not too low on the ground or too high above them. The horizon line is going almost in the middle. That's nice. It just feels really, really good. And the composition is really good too. This is a very interesting composition. I don't think it really quite fits anything traditional. So if I was to do the rule of thirds, oh, maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, this kid is like squarely in a point of interest. That's nice. But it's not like playing it to the number. We don't have someone here and someone here and someone here and someone here. Only this kid is in that point. The golden ratio, it kind of works, not really. But you know what? Sometimes it's okay not to follow any of those like traditional forms, like things that are supposed to be pleasing. This is just damn pleasing. What I see in it immediately is this. I see two arcs coming through, like this. That's the shape I see. It's like kind of like this hourglass, and I think it's kind of fantastic. Like, one thing that's interesting to me is that it's about family. And you've got these two arcs kind of being pulled into each other. There's kind of a connection here, and I really dig that. I think that's super cool. As far as expressions go, this is a silhouette, so you can't really see too well. But I mean, for being a silhouette, it is badass. Like, I can see this guy's nose. I can see that he's smiling. I can see her nose. I can see the kid's nose. I know where they're all looking. And we've got this really cool thing going on right here between all the faces. They're all really tightly in here, right in the center. So yeah, it's just a great photo, nice silhouette. Will Marie, you did a great job. So hope you enjoyed that. If you like this, check out the other videos. Be sure to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. I'm going to be trying to crank one of these out every day. Not every day, that would be insane. Not every day, every week. Every week I will do this. And I hope you enjoy it. And if you want to see even more, join our Facebook group. Just look up Mastin Labs on Facebook. We'd love to have you.